much truth is there to what this anonymous quote from an NFL executive had to say?
Look, there is no truth to what Lamar is. There's absolutely no truth. Okay, Lamar Jackson is on fire right now. He's not doing it the way that he did it in the MVP season, but he's still on fire. They're sitting at 4-2. They're getting ready to play Detroit.
Yep.
Okay, he is completing 70% of his passes. It's a high clip, man. But for whatever reason, you said to me, and I don't mean you, people, several years ago, Skip, well, you know, he really got to learn how to run the football. I mean, throw the football from the pocket.
Right.
So now that he's getting an opportunity to do better in the passing game, now all of a sudden, well, you know, they're not going to win unless he runs the football. Okay, well, wait, hold on, man.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways. Y'all wanted him to learn how to throw from the pocket in a true passing game. So Harbaugh went out and got Todd Monken from the University of Georgia, not to change things around, but teach the passing game, teach the concepts, because they realize we can't advance just running the ball like this. We have to have some sort of explosiveness. So they went out and drafted Zay Flowers. They went out and signed Nelson Aguilar. They hope that Rashad Bateman comes along. Then they said, okay, we also need some leadership in this thing. Who could we go get? You know who's available for us? OBJ. Oh, he's not the same. No, he's not the same. He is never going to be that guy that made that one-hand catch for the Giants on a Monday night game. No. That's not what they were signing, and they knew that. But what they were signing is somebody that could potentially be dependable, somebody who can be a leader, who has won, who understands how to play the position to teach the young guys. Just because they gave him $15 million, they didn't give him $15 million for what he did for the Giants. They gave him $15 million to be a leader, to be a guy that's there to teach things. And he's been able to do that. So I think a lot of people are looking for statistics in the wow factor. Now, mind you, the man is coming off an ACL. Okay? He is out
By
there.
By the way, it's the second on the same knee.
Second on the same knee, Skip. So when you start to degrade him as a player, you're looking at the wrong player. This isn't the player from the Giants. It's just not. And he knows that. He is a complementary piece to what they want to do on the offense. He's trying to teach the concepts with the young receivers to get them to learn how to play the position. And that's exactly what it is. But no, look, man, the Ravens are one of the favorite teams to come out of the AFC conference. And once they take care of business this weekend against Detroit, people will then start talking about them even more. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, and when you guys talking about Odell Beckham, let me address the Odell Beckham situation first. Now, when you watch Odell run, he's not as explosive as he used to be. But he is getting healthy, and he's not all the way healthy. And the last part that come are the gates, those gates. That's when you start and when you're going into the transition for the cut. Now, when he's running, there's little ground contact, less ground contact, so it's easier to run. But he's going into those gates, he got to slam that foot down and get ready to plant one way or the other, and he starts thinking right there, which makes him less open because he's a transition receiver. You can't think, you got to transition and come out. But he's still explosive enough. Let's also talk about Odell's outside. Lamar has never really used outside receivers. So he's always played inside. I like this offense for Lamar. Let me tell you why. Very few quarterbacks can run you to a Super Bowl. I don't know that any really have run you to a Super Bowl. Now, if you use that running of Lamar Jackson as an additive and not the premise or the base, now you got a chance. Lamar's base is what you're seeing Patrick Mahomes do. He's right now, and he's doing this. He's doing this now. He's buying a little time, and he's focused upfield, looking for that player so he can make that play. When it all dies out, then he takes off and run and become that Lamar that this exec is talking about. He stopped running like he ran his MVP year, he did that 2 years ago. I was talking about that 2 years ago, and I don't blame him. You know what I mean? Especially before you gave me my money, you should have stopped running like that before you. Once he got his money, I'll do it sometimes, but it has to be the crucial time for us to win a game, and I understand it. But in order for his team to win a Super Bowl, he's going to have to let that ball go. He's not going to run his team to a Super Bowl, and I think that's what they're working on. And they're going to need Odell later on in this season. I sat here and told you why Odell was great in New York, not so great in Cleveland, great in L.A. because that light is bright. You know where else that light gets bright? Even in Baltimore, that light gets bright in the playoffs, and that's when you can get Odell. When that light is bright, he'll stop thinking about that knee, and you'll get the best Odell. So I do like everything I'm seeing. Don't listen to this, Lamar. You see Anthony Richardson right now is in IR, and I hope he gets well and get better and having surgery. Be ye careful, be smart, and keep doing what you're doing, because I'm telling you, that offense is going to go somewhere. They just got to catch the ball. The receivers got to help them out.
Yep, I hear you. Keyshawn picked the Baltimore Ravens to get to the Super Bowl. I picked the Ravens to win the Super Bowl. This is a big game for them on Sunday at home against an up-and-coming contender that has arrived. It's arriving, right? It's the Jacksonville of the NFC is Detroit.
Right.
I believe heart and soul in Lamar Jackson. I don't care what the design of the offense is. He will make plays that have to be made. And if it's time to run, he'll just run. He'll figure it out because nobody is a bigger, badder, gamer, and baller than Lamar Jackson. When the money is on the line, he will make big plays. They have lost 2 games they should not have lost. They should be a little better than they are, and they're about to take off because this is a takeoff game. I believe they will beat Detroit, and I am totally with Michael on this. Odell is not that dude anymore, but he still can be very good for them. And to Keyshawn's point, yes, $15 million was part for leadership, but it's also part for what he can do for them in the postseason because they need little bits and pieces here and there. But they want him to be a catalyst for them in the postseason the way he was for the Rams because Cooper Kupp had the most sensational statistical year we'd ever seen a receiver at. He triple-crowned it that year, and here came Odell. Well, but by playoff time, Cooper's getting triple coverage, and Odell was always singled, and until he tore his ACL in the Super Bowl, I don't know, he was about to make a statement he was going to be the MVP of the Super Bowl. So they have this perfectly positioned to take off once later in the regular season and then once again take it up another level in the post if Odell can be healthy in the postseason because he will make the kind of plays. He's still capable of making those plays, $15 million plays for this team the way he did for the Rams as they won the championship.
Absolutely, Skip. And what happens in these situations, people are looking for something different. They think that he's supposed to have 65 catches right now. That's not reality. The reality of it is when they hit the postseason, when you have to throw the football and you have to have an alpha dog step up to the plate and deliver for you, that's what he's in there for. He ain't in there basically for the regular season to pile up his numbers. Piling up numbers, that's in the past, man. That was the early part of Cleveland in his time at the Giants. He's a postseason player for them with a high number. So he's polarizing, and so the first thing people want to do is try to break down his what he's been able to do so far in Baltimore and act as though it's a negative. Okay, one of the things that Harbaugh went out and did is he looked at it over the last several years, and he said, John, he said, I say Harbaugh because I always screw it up. John said, you know what? We cannot advance to where we want to go with this type of offense. We still want our main principles of running the football.
That's good. I agree.
We need to understand the concept of the passing game. Greg Roman was not, me and you could dial up some passing plays better than he did, Michael, okay, for Lamar Jackson. Now you got a true offensive coordinator that understands how to call a game, do things differently, and people want to see Lamar right about now instead of 350 yards and averaging 5 yards a clip. They want to see him with 700 yards on the ground. That doesn't get them to where they want to be.
Okay.
What gets them is balance.
I got it. And finally, you guys mentioned a bunch of receivers. When push comes to shove, Lamar's going to throw it to that big joker from Oklahoma named Mark Andrews, because that's how you do. That was his security blanket in the MVP year, and it will be going forward.
And I love that they went and got Zay Jones, who can help in the middle. Now you bring explosiveness in the middle. In the middle. Now we talk about this. So let me just say this last thing too, because they talk about we want Lamar and them to get back to running the football like the Ravens used to run the football, but they stack the line. Everybody stacks the line of scrimmage when you run the football. Now Lamar is at 70% clip of completion. Maybe you drop 1 or 2 people out the box, and Lamar will get back to running then. It's all strategic.
Man,
it's all strategic.
70%.
Right.
If other quarterbacks was hitting 70%, they'd be throwing parades. They would be throwing parades at 70%. Now he hit 70% is a problem.
All right.
I can't win for losing with this.
Up next, Mike McCarthy says Dak Prescott is over-scrutinized and
Overrated.
over-criticized. Is he overrated?
Cowboys rated over.
No mercy, no mercy, no mercy.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.